Welcome to Wheels, Deals, and Meals, where we talk all things good food, good business, and good cars. And now, here is your host, Arnold Gasita, founder and CEO of Petra Automotive Products. Let's roll.
Well, we decided to do something special in September for you guys. We've had a lot of great and amazing shows with unbelievable guests who have the most incredible stories of their lives, of their journey, of their career, what made them who they are, and obviously all the fun stuff like the cars they drove or want, their first cars, the cars they wanted, their museums, all that kind of fun stuff. So what we thought is, why don't we put a couple of shows together, kind of like highlight reels, a few shows, take some of the most fun moments that we've had and compile them together, and in the month of September, show you highlight reels of all of our best shows. So if you haven't watched our show before, this is a great opportunity to look at little clips that are going to be combined into one show so that you can see what we're all about. If you like it, and follow us. Thanks. I'm excited about this show. We have a good friend of mine, Al Deshon, the owner of Churrascos. We're going to hear his story. This is a favorite restaurant around Houston. Anybody that comes to Houston, we're going to talk more about it, but this is a go-to place in Houston. Al, thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. All right, so give me two. Of all the places you've traveled to, what's your favorite? And of all the places you haven't gone to, what's on your wish list?
Right. Well, if I was being really honest, taking out the nostalgia of coming to a place for the first time with preconceived notions, Miami, Florida. Favorite place. Yeah, favorite place. And I used to live...
But that's a party town.
Well, it's not... For me, it's about the food.
Yeah, for sure.
My
it's
God.
The food, party.
And about being Latino and American at the same time. What a place to be both.
It is an exciting... It's an exciting place.
Yeah, simultaneously be both. It's fantastic for that. And then the food. You know, I miss the Cuban food, actually.
Well, that's my next question is, what's your favorite type of food?
Interestingly enough, my favorite food is Italian.
Really?
Italian food. That's why I love Argentinian food so much, because there's a lot of Italian.
I kind of could have guessed on the Bronco, and I kind of could have guessed on the Miami beat, but I definitely would have failed with Italian. I thought you were going to go for Cuban.
No, if I had to go outside of Italy, because I've never been there, I would actually say I'm Nicaraguan. I love Nicaraguan food, but that might be because I'm Nicaraguan.
Right.
I'm married to a Peruvian. Peruvian food is way up.
That's for sure. Worldwide, it's known as very.
So, and I love Peruvian food.
Okay, so since you haven't been abroad, regardless whether it's abroad or here, what's the first on the bucket list for Al to go to?
Yeah, I guess it would have to be like Italy. My favorite food.
So that you can get the pasta.
Yeah, I was, oddly enough, as a kid, man, every birthday I wanted to spend at the Olive Garden.
The breadsticks.
Was it the Italian or was it the breadsticks?
I don't know, man. The breadsticks were pretty good. I remember when I was a kid, I used to go to my grandparents there.
Yeah.
It was great. Get the breadsticks, all you can eat, you know. It was good. Yeah. And the tour of Italy.
The tour of Italy, which nobody ever has room for because you're stuffed with salad and breadsticks. Right.
All right, so you were born in Nicaragua?
No, I was born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
It's a good place for a Nicaraguan to be born. It's like, if you're going to pick a place, this is where Nicaraguans are born, Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
All right, so you get married, you elope in Miami.
Yeah.
Now you're married.
Now I'm married.
How do you get into the restaurant business?
Well, I ended up in Miami getting a bank job and working there for 10 years. I liked it. We were happy. Everything was fine. My family living in Nicaragua, my dad was doing a lot better. And one of these days he kind of came by and said, wouldn't it be nice for you not to work for somebody else, kind of work for yourself? I'm like, yeah, but I can't open a bank. That's what I do. So he said, well, let's look for something to do. Let's look for a business. But he had one caveat. He's like, but I don't like Miami. Oddly enough, his only real beef with Miami is the glare. Too sunny.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but since we moved around so much, he's like, I have really fond times and memories of Houston, Texas. So we all came over here for one summer. We rented a 16-passenger van. my brother's family, my mom, my aunt, we all came over to Houston. And
Like a good Latino vacation.
we came, spent a week in Houston to see if we liked it. And I'll promise you, if we were here 7 days, 6 days, we're not moving here.
This is including your wife, right?
This is everybody. Like, we're never going to move here.
And oh, look at this.
These are some Gulf crab cakes with the jalapeno remoulade. It's one of our appetizers.
This is the best part of doing these shows is the food, right? And then they wonder why I don't lose weight. All right, so you come here. 90% of the time, you're like, we're not moving to Houston.
We're not moving here.
Then what happens?
And then my cousins had like a nursery in Richmond. And they're like, let's go see their nursery, like that's their business. Let's go check it out. And then while we're there across the street, there's like all these model homes. And we had little kids at this time, really little. And they're all with us. So we went to this model home. And currently my brother and I were both looking for new places in Miami. So when we get into this model home, the kids start running up and down the 3 floors. And, we're talking about Miami prices, Miami square footage compared to Texas square footage. And this house was almost 5,000 square foot as it was. And we were living in like 1,300 square feet in Miami and trying to upgrade to like 2,000 square feet. This house was 5,000 square feet. So we're like, all right, it might be Texas prices, but we still can't afford this. When we got the price on that thing, my brothers signed with it immediately. And then my kids were like looking at me like, what about this? And I'm like, so we did it. We took the plunge. No jobs, no investments. We're like, let's just move.
And you guys bought, I imagine, a house next to each other.
Yeah, my house is here and his is across the street, 2 doors down.
Yeah.
And we now live there for 13 years.
Still the same house.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah. Beginning, I actually didn't work. It didn't find me a job. It found my brother a job because he ended up becoming the CEO.
Yes, gracias.
Yeah. This is like a sashimi, like a tiradito de salmón.
Man, that all looks good.
Yeah.
It smells good too. So you had no restaurant experience other than
Eating.
for that, in that case, I have a lot of restaurant experience. So you had no restaurant experience.
Yeah.
A group needed investors or wanted investors.
Yeah.
You invested in them with no experience.
Right.
Okay, so walk me how you got here now.
The first meeting was about investing in only that restaurant. But then our partner said he needed an investor for everything else. After that, we ended up opening this restaurant, which is Churrascos Memorial. We also ended up opening Churrascos Champions. So yeah, with us here, we had 3 new restaurants. And at some point we had 9 restaurants and then the catering side. And we used to also do concessions at the Hobby Center, which had the restaurant Artista in it. So really 9 restaurants, catering division and concessions division, so 11 units. And the first few years were great, and that's how we got into the business. There's one dessert on our menu that will give the Tres Leches a run for the money. It's this one. This is a tequila bread pudding with cinnamon ice cream. Yeah.
Going to Churrascos for years, right? Tres Leches, we always get it. And the little cookies with the
alfajores.
Dulce de leche.
Yeah. Very Argentinian. Very
Delicious,
South American,
right?
yeah.
Like I'll get a dozen and eat it myself,
Yeah.
you know? I mean, those things are a go-to all the time.
Just melt your
brunch,
house and dissolve.
That's it. Delicious. I don't think I've ever had it.
Wow. See?
This tequila
Bread pudding with cinnamon ice cream. Yeah. For me, you had me at cinnamon ice cream, but
Where's your spoon? Oh. No, here's your spoon. No, don't give me none of that.
I was trying to
No.
trying to not indulge, but
You love bread pudding.
oh
Who would have thought of that?
yeah. Oh wow. Yeah.
That sauce?
Yeah, that's something else.
Phenomenal.
It's my dad's favorite.
I mean, phenomenally. 3 things today. I mean, obviously that's good, but I've tasted that before. 3 things that I learned about Churrasco that I bet you not a lot of people know.
Yeah.
Because they come here, and you're probably your best seller is at Tres Leches.
Yeah. This came from America's. So we had this hidden gem at America's, but you could only get it at America's. And now Churrasco's clients get to enjoy it.
Absolutely delicious.
Thank you.
Absolutely delicious. Al, thank you for this. Thank you for your story. Thank you for coming to Houston. Thank you for investing. Thank you for keeping it going. Really appreciate you, man. Thanks a lot. Love you, brother.
Love you.
We are back here at the Petra International Convention here at the Great Hotel Grand Duke in Houston. Our keynote speaker is Merril Hoge, and I am excited to have him on our show. Merril, where were you born?
I was born in Pocatello, Idaho. Kindergarten to college in my hometown.
No kidding.
I did not leave my hometown. I left. Only time I left, actually, I flew on the plane one time prior to being drafted by the Steelers. So I felt I was so sheltered. You know, I'm 21 years old when I get drafted, but in college we traveled on a bus. So we made bus trips.
So you grew up in Idaho, and then you go to college, and you get drafted while you're in that town to go to the Pittsburgh Steelers. You're 21.
Yeah.
How was that date?
It mixed with a lot of things. My mom had died a year before that, tragically, and I was projected. You know, the draft went from 3 days, then it went to 1 day. You know, and then I was moved around a lot. But back then it was 3 days too, and I was projected between first and third round, and the first third round went by, and I didn't even get a butt dial, you know. Nobody even accidentally called me. And then day 2 went by, and I was like, oh boy. And then so day 3 comes, and So
wait a minute. So before day 3, what are you thinking? I mean, are you thinking like there's a chance I'm not going to get called?
After one day, when it gets to day 3, you know, the first 2 days, there's all kinds of, you know, hope and anticipation and anxiety that, you know, everything, you know, the next one will be yours.
Your call,
the next one, the next one, the next one. And, you know, pretty soon that starts to burn away at you. And I went out and I started playing basketball with my brothers, and a friend came over. And my dad came out and he said, hey, you want on the phone. And actually, when he said that, I was like, oh, I didn't even think of somebody maybe calling me.
Yeah.
So I ran in and I just said hello, and it was the scout who had scouted me. And I forget his name, but he said, hey, Merril, this is so-and-so from the Pittsburgh Steelers. He goes, I will never forget what he said. He said, we need you on this football team. He goes, you can make this football team. And that's all I heard him say. And I was like, I almost couldn't speak.
So you get the call, you get drafted, off you are to Pittsburgh. Now, when you get drafted, are you on the team, or you still got to earn your spot on the team?
When I say opportunity, that is all you get.
A chance to walk on the field.
There's a chance to show up for 5 weeks and show that you're worthy of playing. Because, well, I'll just give you Chuck Noll. I'll give you what Chuck Noll said. One of the main things he said, he's the greatest man I've ever been around. He's the greatest leader, greatest teacher, greatest coach I've ever been around. I remember he got up after we did this thing. I'm not going to bore you with the story, but he's like, all right, we found out who's the biggest. We found out who's the strongest. We found out who could jump the highest. We found out who's the fastest. We found out who's the quickest. Okay? We did that all today in these drills he's talked about. I got 5 weeks now to find out who can play football, and that's who I'm keeping. And when he said that, I'm like, I got a shot.
I may have a chance.
I got a shot. Because from a measurable guy, like from
I
a
love
drill
that. Because, when you're saying that, in my mind, what ringed was he's saying, now I want to see who has the heart.
All the things that
play
matter.
Football.
And who can play it.
So you're on the team. How long did you play for the Steelers?
7 years. And then I went as a free agent. I signed a 3-year deal with the Chicago Bears. And my career ended there prematurely my first year, which was a big pivot in my life. Because my favorite player is Walter Payton. So I'm actually playing for the 2 teams that I love the most. Mm-hmm. The Pittsburgh Steelers and Chicago Bears. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I couldn't have scripted it.
Iconic teams.
Yes.
So why did your career end abruptly, that you were saying?
What's the thing that's still misunderstood today about the injury? Improper care of my concussion ended my career. People say, we talk about, misinformation, misunderstanding. Head trauma is not going to be the result of a player having to leave a particular sport. Now, it could, but that percentage is very, very small. More than likely, it's what kind of care did they get and what was the process
when they had
of
trauma.
Rehab before they return. The brain is just the most vital organ, so we need to be cautious of how we go about repairing it and caring for it. And it sent me on a journey. Even though that career, it ended my career, it sent me down a path I never dreamed I would go. And when I look at what we're dealing with in the country today, the biggest issue that we have is emotional trauma. It is not physical trauma. So like when my career ended, everybody goes, go back to the concussion end of your career. No, it didn't. Improper care did. Well, what put me on a couch, sent me into depression. Keep in mind, I went to cardiac arrest in the locker room too, by the way. I laid in intensive care for days. I had to learn how to read again. I went through severe depression. I was a mess. But the thing that took me down that road wasn't the physical impact on a football field. It was the emotional loss of a career I'd been doing for 22 years. Not 8.
That you loved.
And it's my only purpose. And I had no hope. I had, like, if I took your job away and gave you no purpose, no hope,
I'd go crazy.
everybody would.
Yeah.
You never know where that will send you. I think COVID gave everybody a little bit of taste of what could happen if it was done. You had to find something else. That journey can be arduous for people. Some people can't get to that other step. I was struggling getting to that other step. And it wasn't until I really took, these words have helped me live a dream and fight to live, and a lot of in between. Here's a lot of in between. Once I took ownership of where I was, I quit pointing fingers, casting blame, and making excuses. And I got myself off the couch and started to do something in a proactive manner. That is when things changed for me. That's when everything has always changed for me.
Which says a lot about you, and that's part of your history people will know about you. Do you still work out?
Yeah.
I noticed that because I do too, right, Butch? We kind of look the same. Thank you for being with us,
You're the best,
man.
Arm. Thank you, buddy.
Love you, man. Thanks.
So after 9 years, 9 months, and 18 days, I bought my first store, Chevrolet Buick GMC store in Mahia, Texas. Yep.
On your own.
On my own,
Are you freaking out? Are you excited more?
I'm excited more,
But you got a little.
I'm a lot more optimistic. So like the fear piece didn't have a chance with all the optimism I had. I was excited. I was ready to go. And, I listened to Robert, the dealer that I was working for. That was one of his biggest things. He said, you only have one shot, Mike. If you don't make it work, you have to ask somebody for a job. So, if you keep that in the back of your mind,
I got to make it happen.
I have to make it happen. I have no choice.
I have to make it happen. What's the most stores you've owned?
7.
At one time? 7.
Yeah.
And how many stores you own now?
5.
And what's the goal?
2. No.
Every dealer says that.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well, the thing about it is, it's so much excitement in purchasing them, and what I found out is, like when you're a manager and you're working cardias, you get that adrenaline rush and that dopamine high, that's your excitement.
yeah.
Then when you're the dealer, it's like, you don't have that excitement anymore. So what do, right? So I buy one and I'm excited because I'm buying one. Then I found myself addicted to buying them. So it's like, that's where I was getting my, my rush. My high. So like buying another one, Then it was like, whoa, hold on, you have all this stuff. And because I bought them so fast, you didn't have that culture established in all of them. You haven't had them the most in the first 2 because you spent the most time with the smaller amount on this side. But as you got to get to 5, 6, 7 stores, it's like no culture is there.
Yeah.
You don't have the time to.
And culture's important.
It's super important. Super important. Once you set your guidelines, everybody want to know their boundaries.
Yeah.
When they know the boundaries, the guidelines, rules, regulations, and they play ball in that same court and move on.
Wow. It is. What do you say to kids, like the Mike Terry in some town in Texas or wherever, that says, I'm working at Sonic, how do I become the next Mike Terry? What's your advice?
I got it figured out, man. We're the biggest dreamers when we're kids. And then we become fearful over time of what we actually could accomplish. And then when we're mentally ready to accomplish something, it refers back to our conversation earlier. I'm too old to do it now.
Too late.
Too late. So as kids, I would say the dreams that they have now, they're valid and they're real. The issue with that dream is you have to activate it and you have to believe in yourself. You have to be confident in yourself. And the biggest key I learned of all is you have to be consistent. Because if you're consistently doing something wrong that need an adjustment for you to be successful individuals can identify that. And it's easy to, hey, you're doing a great job on this track, just get on the right track. You go to work every day, you show up on time before everybody else, you stay later. Why don't you do this one knob turn and it'll make an adjustment in your life and you'll take off? Because some of the most productive smart, super talented people that I know, like I can put my finger on them every day, man, and they just don't have that work ethic, or there's something missing. There's only a few things with being consistent, man. You know, you have to have great work ethics. You have to show up on time. You have, you know, and if you're doing those things and you're consistently doing it every day, success is inevitable.
Good. Well, Mike, thanks for being on the show, man.
Yeah.
I love you. Hope this relationship keeps growing, man. I think we got so many things in common. I really enjoy being with you, learning from you, hanging around with you.
Well, thank you. I definitely enjoyed myself since the day we met. You know, we've had some great time, got us some good steaks, some good cigars. So yeah, I think it's gonna be great, man. And we live in the same neighborhood. Who would have known? Yeah, so
Onward and upward.
yeah, onward and upward, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. As I look back at all the shows we've done, this is the first time that we've, I think, delved into the medical side. And a good friend of mine actually goes to my church, Alex Milan, Dr. Alex Milan. Thank you for being with us. We appreciate it. Before we get started with you, I want to make sure I do my due diligence. If you guys like the show, make sure you subscribe, you like it, you comment, you share it, do all the stuff that you need to do on all the social media, podcast outlets, YouTube. That will help us out tremendously. So Alex, thank you for being on the show.
Good to be here.
So how long have you been a doctor?
40 years.
40 years.
Well, one of the things I love about emergency medicine is that many times you're able to fix the problem quickly. Nursemaid elbows are some of the funnest things because it's usually a 2-year-old, their parent has picked them up by the arm, and then they don't move their arm. So you just walk up to them and just kind of rub their elbow a little bit and just turn, and you know, and you feel the pop with your thumb, and then you say it's fixed. And it's like, but you were just with them for 5 seconds.
That's great.
And I said, let's watch them for a little bit and, you know, watch them play, and you'll see that they'll start moving their arm again. You know, so that's the fun part.
That's great.
So I got to tell you the one of my funnest cases. A young woman came in and she said, there's a bug in my ear. And so I looked, and what I saw was she had a little hole in her eardrum, and you could see the tail of an ant kind of moving, like it was like gathering food on the other side, okay? And you could just kind of see it moving, and it just kind of, you know, took me back, and I said, you've got a hole in your ear. And she said, yes, I know. And I said, how do you know? She said, because when I blow my nose, air comes out. And I said, do it now and do it hard. So she blew, and she blew the ant out right here. Yeah, now see, that is something that is not taught in medical school.
No,
you've got to just think, you know, think quickly. That's the funnest case I've ever had.
That's another 5 minutes or so, you know, hey, we got the problem solved.
Yeah.
Ants out of your ear. Is TVER really like ER?
I don't watch it much, but that's about a bunch of
it makes it so dramatic.
Life drama. I will tell you that things like House, there are times when you're going through this checklist of, man, it could be this, or this. It's more likely to be this. Now, of course, we don't follow the patient for days and days like what's on House. Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of, it could be this, it could be that, you know, and you have to. I guess the main thing I've learned is discuss with the patient what you know. Okay, share with them what your education has taught you. Hey, this is what we're looking at. It could be this, or this. It's more likely to be this. Let's take this approach. Let's see how you respond. If you're getting worse, come back, let us reevaluate. Follow up with your doctor and give them a report. Yeah.
Well, Alex, I appreciate you being on. It's been great. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for your heart. Thank you for your career. Thank you for helping people. I appreciate your friendship.
Well, I appreciate your friendship, and you know, when we get together, it's always fun.
Yeah.
You know, we both want to serve the Lord, and we want to bring good things to other people.
That's right. That's right. Amen. Well, cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
Thank you for listening to Wheels, Deals, and Meals. your main source for all things good and fun, business, food, and cars. If you like this episode, make sure to rate us and subscribe. If you would like to be a guest on our show, please leave a message at the link below. Till next time, happy eating!